for Cryptid Cafe Deluxe Edition. Squatchy games. Octopus board. Rulebook. Wooden tokens. Soup. Sandwich. Chocolate. Cider. 5 money. Espresso. 1 money. Cinnabuns. Server Meeples. Bought this extra. That is the Cryptid server pack. That is all the cryptids. You have serving boards. You have a round marker. You have a die for solo play and 2-player play. And then you have lots and lots of cards. There's some cards. There's a pack for a player. 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 Here's other extra cards. And then here's packs for players. With all the fun cryptids. This is a very quick, brief, non-comprehensive how to play for Cryptid Cafe. Goal of the game, have the most tips by getting ingredients to fulfill the orders of your cryptids. What they want is up here. How much money they give you is down here based on what color they are. If they walk out, they're going to be minus tips. So you guys are going to, all the players are going to go around the turn, placing their cryptids out on various locations of the board. Not in real time. I'm just kind of plopping them on out there. But you're going to be putting them in the various spots. Then, after everyone has placed their cryptids, you're going to go from left to right and resolve each station. The number you're on is how many ingredients you will get. The person who's in the back of the line, as long as there is someone in front of them, can pay money to jump spots, 1 money for each spot. So for instance, if Sasquatch wanted to go up to 3, he would spend 2, 1, 2, kick him back, and he would now take 3 Hexpresso. Done. Here, he can't move up for 2 reasons. 1, you can only do it once per round, and 2, there's no one in front of him. So he would get 2 here. Next one, they have an option. So they'll spend 2 to go up here. They'll get their 3. Over here, they can't go up. Sasquatch can't go up, and they wouldn't be able anyways because you have to be at the back of the line. So they get 1, 2, and 3 respectively, and 3. Once everyone grabs their ingredients, they'll come over and try and feed their cryptids. If they're able to fill an order, they put them under served. At the end of the round, they all move over either 1 or 2. And if at the end it goes into your walkouts. It plays over a various number of rounds based on how many players. Whoever has the most tips at the end wins.
Today we have got Cryptid Cafe that we will be talking about. So, what are your thoughts on Cryptid Cafe?
Well, so I backed this on Kickstarter and got the Kickstarter edition because Bri likes all the goofy little apps for fulfilling orders. So in regards to that, I think it implements it well. It does have the stuff going on in regards to those games.
Gives you that feeling of the rush of gotta hurry up and fill up those orders before they fall down or fall out. So what I enjoy about this is obviously the collecting of the resources. I've always done that. I've always liked that. But I like the little cryptids. These are kind of cool. And there's so many of them.
So as I said, I backed this on Kickstarter. So because I backed it on Kickstarter, I could not pass up not getting the server pack, which if you notice behind us. So we can use all of these in place of the normal ones in the game for our servers. Which, yeah, that just opens up the possibilities and really helps immerse yourself in the theme. So with the components, as we're talking about the cryptids, we do have the nice wood bits for the dishes, and personally that really elevates it a level for me, because I'll just sit there and just play around and just stack the chips, and it's just that tactile and the clicky clacky is super enjoyable.
I'm another one. I like to sit there and play with the components, whether it be this game or any other game. I like to play with that.
And with them being wood, they handle the use better. We've had games where we've had the cardboard tokens, and when I've done that, I've noticed I've kind of wore them off. These, not really as bad, because it's the wood and it's not taking off the design. What do you think of the art?
I like the art. I think it's really cool. You've got all the different kinds of cryptids. You got like the jackalope, the Loveland Frogman, the Ogopogo, Loch Ness Monster. And it's really cool. But it's not like scary cool, or scary drawings like the Mothman. I mean, that kind of looks like a goofy little moth. So that was kind of cool.
It'll help appeal to the family, so you're not scaring your kids with the crazy look of, like, you know, a Mothman with blood from its fangs. It's reminiscent almost of like Cryptkins from Cryptozoic. I think it's Cryptozoic. Cryptkins that have it like the little, basically it's their version of the Funkos, but they're all the cryptids. So you have Cthulhu, but he looks like, hey, I'm going to be your buddy. Same thing with these. Is like, you know, Mothman. Hey, I'll get a bite with him. He looks friendly.
Right.
So.
Wendigo. Or Wendigo, depending on how you see it. I mean, yeah, he does not look like a werewolf. He kind of looks kind of cutish. So I do like the art. It's really, I don't want to keep saying cute, but.
So, we will get into our one issue that we've had with the game. So we play 2 players, and the 2-player variant is you basically play with a bot that you would normally play with in the solo game. Except the solo game you play with 2. In this instance, you only play with 1. And you flip over a card and it tells you what station he goes to. You roll the die, and that's the spot he goes in. So that's fine. That's great. It mimics another player. But then when you're going through the stations, if he's ever in the back of the row, he always gets to roll a die and always gets to move up, even if he did so previously. And that does not mimic a regular player, because a regular player can only do it once per round. So in this instance, we have implemented a house rule where if he moves up during the round, he doesn't move up again, because then it is mimicking the regular player.
Because otherwise it became too
punishing.
Yeah.
That, you know, you're constantly getting jumped up in front of. Because the die is balanced. There's 2 sides where he doesn't move, 2 where he moves up 2, and 2 that he moves up 1. But there's quite a few times we played where in one round he jumped up in front of me 2, 3 times. Like almost all of mine got kicked down by the bot. So in a 3-player game, you'd expect at most 2. And that's only if you guys are fighting over there. But with him randomly putting him out and then randomly moving up, it's too punishing for us.
Yeah.
I think that's the only problem you had with this game.
Yeah. I mean, I like the, like you said, the fulfilling the orders, moving them down. The only thing that I kind of wasn't all that gung-ho about was on some of these, the amount of items that are needed. Like this one is 5 or 4, which it goes into the whole, you've got to choose, well, which one do I want to do more? Do I want to do this one that's worth 6 points while it's in the green? So that means that's that right there, that's what? That's 10 things that you have to get. 4 different ones, 4 different foods. So it's like that's going to take you 2, 3, sometimes even 4 turns to get those, and by that time, well, it's all the way down there. So that's one of my big issues with it. But
I mean, they do balance it out. Like that takes 10 ingredients, 6 points. He takes 11, 7 points. So it is kind of that push and pull in regards to that. But in that regards too, there is that luck aspect that you get to where there is times where Bri would have 4 of them that needed Hexpresso, and you're not gonna be able to get all that necessarily in that time frame. They do have a couple of cards that try to mitigate that, but you can use them once per game, and it's the manager card, which basically lets you swap 2 of the customers. So if you know you can get one, you can move it over to get the more points for it. And also this mimic card where you basically choose one of your cryptids and you can mimic the order and all this various aspects of one of your opponents, where it's at in there, just what it wants. So you can kind of get around with there, that you can do twice or once per game for each card. That helps mitigate that. But so, final thoughts. I'll go first. I'm not a fan. I will admit, though, I did not get this game thinking I was going to be a fan. I got this for Bri and the youth somewhat because I know they kind of like those those apps, the fulfilling orders and all that. Me, I don't like those. I like kind of taking my time, playing out a long-term strategy, and not having to rush for everything. Because in the games we've played, I've lost, and it usually comes down to because I had a walkout and you didn't.
yeah,
Like we tied a game. Tiebreaker is whoever has the most walkouts. Well, I had 1, she had none, so I lost. So that is my problem with it. But I will say production fantastic. It definitely implements the theme and does what it's supposed to do. That's not my type of game. But I got it, and we'll play it with Bri because for this exact reason.
yeah, and I really like the collecting. I like collecting it.
Which is usually fine. That's probably why you do better in the game than I do. Because I'll usually just grab what I need. You do get penalized if you have it at the end of the game, but you usually don't. Because you usually have it ready then when the next person comes up and needs it.
Yeah. So
I just typically don't grab more just because I'm too busy trying to focus on fulfilling. So.
And like I said, as you're going down and it's getting lower and lower, you do get that kind of, that rush. Ooh, I gotta hurry up, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. Oh man, I was this close. And then he walks out. Which is kind of like what the apps do. You know, you're like right there and they walk out and it's like, well, dang it. And I really like those cute little cryptids.
The cryptals?
Is that what they're called? Cryptids? I
don't know, I'm saying it. I don't think they ever refer to them as cryptals, but if they haven't, it's my word now. Cryptals. So our final thoughts. Me, not a fan, didn't expect to be, but it is a good implementation of what it meant to do.
Me, I really like it. Scratches kind of that itch that, the collecting. I like to collect it.
So again, that was Cryptid Cafe from Squatchy Games. So, go ahead, like, subscribe, bell, all that various, what's the PR word? Yeah. That word.
Implementations? Implementations?
That's not PR word. Implementations. Do all those implementations that YouTube asks us to tell you about. So, until next time, Brad.
Bri.
Merry Married Meeples.